Alright, welcome back guys to another Lord Bane video. Today we're going to do something a little bit different, and I might continue to do like a similar video to this I'm thinking probably every couple weeks towards a month. So I got the idea and the advice from Captain Amazing. I'll see if I can add an effect. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I'll leave his Discord in the description for you guys to check out. Fellow content creator, very good at what he does. Modding, roster reviews, GAC reviews, all of that kind of stuff. Go check him out. Give him a like, sub. Good advice he does give. So today we're going to look at what my roster encompasses, what the direction is with this account. Why am I farming what I am? What's the plans for the future? So I did a short video the other day of the alternate account, but today I figured, oh well, Captain reckons he doesn't know what's going on with my account, so I should tell everybody what's happening with it. So basically, if you guys have been able to watch any of Captain Amazing's videos, and if you've been able to catch a roster review of my account, you guys will know what I should be working towards and what I'm trying to fix in this account. So we are currently at 10.6 million power, so definitely a big account. Captain seems to think that this is a mega wow Kraken account. It honestly isn't. 14-15 million is like the new peak of the game at the moment, which is just insane. So it's probably no secret to anyone, I do spend an amount every so often on the game. I just enjoy the game. I love playing it. I know it has its issues, and like everything does, it's a bit rusty, but it's the only Star Wars game I really like to play. So every so often I throw a few dollars at it. But anyway, we're actually meant to be talking about the roster today. So we are a 7 Galactic Legend roster, so we don't have Leia. What that means for me is, in my place in Grand Arena is top end of Kyber 2 and bottom end of Kyber 1. That's where I kind of sit. If I get a good week of GACs, like triple championships, and I win all 3 of my rounds, I usually move up to Kyber 1, and then I get decimated with 3 losses, and then I move back to Kyber 2. So that's kind of where I'm sitting between I'm on the border between Kyber 1 and Kyber 2. So, and what's holding me back is a few things. Now, because this roster is lacking in those departments, I can't settle myself in Kyber. Now, if you've watched any of my GAC streams, my game plan towards GAC is a lot of ground force. That's where my strength is, on the ground with all the characters. Fleets, however, aren't really my strong point. So we'll start from probably top to bottom of this account. What do I have? What do I need? What am I farming? And why have I made some certain decisions with this account? So right now, I'm farming for a couple of things now. So this is what I've got on the favorite list here. So at the moment, if you guys have watched or been able to catch any of the roster reviews Captain has done for me, fleet is a huge part of my roster. That's a black hole. It's missing heaps of stuff. So as you can see here, Leviathan is one of the things that really do hurt me in Grand Arena, and that's why I go so heavy on defense for characters, but I cheese the absolute heck out of my fleet. So I am kind of slow farming Leviathan. I'm not going too hard on it because I didn't really go hard on the conquest with Malgus's Interceptor. So that was mostly the biggest pinch point for me, is I was like, I I don't have Malgus's ship up and running, and he's just been released to Proving Grounds. So maybe once I get him to 7 stars and I get the Interceptor to 7 stars and the Dagger, I might start putting the relic investment into these guys and getting them up there for Leviathan unlock. And just I'm just finishing off a couple of farms. Like, I still have Radis at 6 stars for some reason. That just slipped my mind. And I am 7-starring the Marauder. I was a bit lazy on the farm, but I've still been able to use a 4-star Marauder to beat most things. So that's pretty good value for me. And currently for ships, what we're farming right now, well, not so much ships, but we've done all the ship farming format, but we are getting ready to unlock the Profunity. So that's our next big thing for this account, is Profunity. And it's going to add a huge part to my GAC plan. Hopefully it will give us that leg up into Kyber 1 that we need. I'm a little bit unsure what I'm going to do with it, being more of, maybe will I place Executor and Profundity on defense now? Have a more have a more defensive oriented fleets on the ground, or will I go for the offensive nice banner wins for fleets? I'm a little bit undecided to what I want, and I know 7-starring fleets these days takes about a year. I think it's a year, so I'm not sure. I know 4-star Profundity is not bad at all. So I'm a little bit undecided what I will do with the Profundity, if it's going to be an offensive or a defensive thing. Because I'm more of a defensive guy, I'm kind of leaning towards setting a huge defense for people just to go through pain to get through. So that's the biggest next thing for this account, is Profundity. As you can see, I just actually got Radis to Relic 8 today. So we just got to get him to Relic 9, which should probably get by the end of the week. Relic 7 on Dash, and then I think it's Relic 5 for the rest of these. Maybe, oh no, one more Relic 8, I think, on Cassian there. So it's just the Relic grind from here on end. We've already farmed all the ships for it, so we are ready. We just need the relics to get it, just to give us over the requirements, and then we'll be able to start getting Profundity shards. So that's the next biggest thing for this account. Quickly following that account is we are really close to Leia as well. So I just got Scout Trooper to Gear 12 yesterday, and slowly applying the gear I need to Relic 7 him. I've already got Captain Rex to Relic 7, and Captain Drogon, I've had him at 7 stars for a while, but I just haven't been able. I just didn't want to invest the Chirotech into him just yet. Like, you can put him to Mon Mothma, but I'd rather build. I was halfway building my Profundity requirements, so I put all the Chirotechs into them before I did him. So, and because I finished the finisher on Scout Trooper, I will probably start working on Drogon next. And I'm slow farming Nisa, not too far away now. So once I get Scout and Drogon to their requirements, like, I'll probably get them to Gear 13, and they'll just sit there until I finish the relics for the Profundity, and then I'll start putting relics into the rest of these marquee characters for Leia. And then we will have Leia unlocked. And I definitely think after we get those two big things to this account, this would push me over 11 million. Having Profundity and Leia will give me a few legs up into Kyber 1. So we'll be a constant contender in Kyber 1, I think, after we unlock those two big things. So Profundity and Leia are probably the two biggest farms I've got on at the moment. And another thing that I kind of missed out on, is a little bit lazy on, to be honest, Cal Kestis, Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. A lot of people have them, but I've just been so slow. We've got some of the requirements done. I actually got, where is Marin? She's not even favorited. Where's the Night Sisters? Night Sisters. Yeah, so I'm slow farming Marin. I'm so close. She's not too far away at the moment, but I've just been trying to build some mods up for the Night Sisters. But what I've been planning is, because this is my next side project I've been slowly doing, and thank goodness, because I haven't put too much investment into them for ages and ages, but we are getting, supposedly, I think it's this Saturday, the 4th of May, we are getting the Lightspeed bundles, and I will be picking up the Night Sister bundle. That will just save me a huge amount of Chirotech and relics. Definitely worth the value, I believe, to get the Lightspeed bundle for that. So I'll immediately get all my Night Sisters to Relic 3, and they'll save me a ton of gear and time. And all I'll have to do then is get the 14 shards for Merrin, get it to gear 12, and then I'll have a good Night Sister team. And what I will do with them is I will build Merrin and Asajj, and I think is it Towson? Yeah, so I will give probably my next one or second Omicron coming up will probably be one for Merrin and one for Radis or Ben. I'm kind of undecided, but I want to get my 3 Night Sisters here ready for Jubba in 3v3. So once, because we've only got one more week of 5v5 left, so that means we're back into 3v3 like already. It's been, I think, yeah, we're back into 3v3 already. That's crazy. But yeah, so I'm going to try and prep these guys for Jubba, hence why the Tenacity mods. I'm trying to get the good mods settled in there, and then I'll start slicing them up. So I've kind of started on her. I haven't really started on Towson or Asajj yet. They've just kind of been holding some garbage mods for me for my inventory. So that's my side project at the moment. I've got a lot of projects going on like we all do. So Profunity, Leia, Night Sisters will be over in a heartbeat because of the Lightspeed, courtesy of the Lightspeed bundles, and Merrin's not too far away then. And because of that, we're slow farming Tarful and swgoh. I might give them a bit of a boost with shards or something. Kind of undecided there. Next conquest character for us is Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. Again, lazy me. Didn't do all the red crates and gold crates. So I just hate doing conquest. I just sim the datacrons and yeah, I just hate the grind. I don't have the time or the mental strength to sit down and do conquest. But so yeah, I can't wait for actually get Dark Trooper Moff Gideon. I'm excited to use him and test him to his limits. But otherwise, farming wise, that's kind of what we are aiming for. Finish Profunity. We're gonna get Leia, not too far away. Night Sister is going to be done in a heartbeat. That'll give me hopefully a good 3v3 Jubba counter. I'm going to learn to one-shot the Jubba, so we'll see how that goes. Jedi Knight Cal Kestis is down the road. Also, because of the Lightspeed bundles, we will be picking up the Geonosian one. I might as well. Like, I know I've already got 2 of the 5, but the value is still worth it to me for, I think it's like $20 or something, to get the finishes. That's what, 300 Chirotech there, 150 of each piece. That's already more than enough value to convince me it's worth it. Plus the Relic 3 on all of them. It's great for ships as well. So, and even I might slap a Puggle Omicron on when I get the Omicron material. So I'm going to grab that as well. That'll finish my Geonosians off. I won't touch them again unless maybe a Relic upgrade. I'm not really too fussed about that. What else really? Maybe I'll talk a little bit about what I've invested really hard into my account. Let's go back to power just so people can get rid of all that farming. So as an account, I think it's okay. Yep, we have the 7 GLs, we have gas, we have Reva unlocked, we have BANE, we have Malgus. So we have some of the top conquest units, top teams. We have the Star Killer. We have a Phoenix team that's operational. It's just not some garbage team. We do have an operational Phoenix team. We have more. We have Cat. We also have Dr. Aphra. I know not many people do have her, and to be honest, she's not really that great. Maybe for lower end teams, but if she doesn't have that datacron that just spams her abilities, it's really hard to make it work. I think, like, I don't have any Omicrons on her, just because I just hate using her. Yeah, I don't know. I've got my beloved Trench, a great team, to be honest. We got our Treya. One thing that is holding us back is We do have unaligned Force users, but we have no Malicos. So again, just me being lazy, not farming Conquest units. So that's one thing that holds his account back, is not having a Malicos in GAC to handle those rays. Very, very unfortunate, but it's just the way it is. Yeah, I think we have Dabo Boba. Unfortunate 2 Omicrons there. What can you do? Yeah, we've got... there's not really too much to... yeah, once we get down this far, we're probably looking at garbage. So we'll go back to the top, and I'll go through maybe squad by squad. I don't want to take too long in this video, maybe about half an hour, I think. So we've got another 15 minutes to chinwag about some random stuff. So we've got Lord Vader, so we have all the Bad Batch up and running. I haven't invested into Omega. As much as it displeases Colgate to see my Gear 8 Omega, she does what she needs to do for me. Pre-Torn on Wrecker, you know, it's hunky-dory, it's fine. Or I use Shark T. So, as a farm, I think Bad Batch, if you're going for Lord Vader, they are a good team, but I think they kind of lose a part of their viability towards, especially the end game, like 10 million plus, even maybe earlier than that. But a lot of defenses now just block them out. Like, the teams nowadays are so powerful, they need really powerful teams to take out, and Bad Batch isn't it anymore. The occasional Qui-Gon pops up and they're great to use, but I just find there's so many things that just prevent this from working anymore. Power creep, I guess. We'll skip over Bounty Hunters, clones, yeah. Maybe we'll talk about Empire for a bit. One of my favorite factions here, Inquisitors being absolutely brutal of a team. Reva, I've only got the 1 Omicron invested into her, and it's the death mark one of the leadership. Just because everyone's so short on Omicrons, I only try and give the ones that are most important. Obviously, all the other Omicrons in her kit are awesome because they give her a bunch of stuff, and I'm sure it makes her way better. But what she counters at the moment is what I need her to do. Well, most of the time anyway. But Death Mark is all I need for Reva. Great character. Good Omicrons to invest into her. One I do have is a little bit of a luxury one. I do have Grand Inquisitors. Not leadership, guys. Don't put all your Omicrons on this guy. But Ready to Die is such a handy... especially if you're into territory wars like myself. This is a very handy... pardon me. Very handy Omicron. You can use it to beat Beck teams very consistently. I don't think I've put a video out about it yet. But this instant defeat for Jedi on 6 stacks of Purge is so clean for those Beck battles. That's another Omicron I don't regret at all. Quite good for territory wars, obviously. You guys all know about my craving over IC Gar. I invested as much as I could into them without going overkill. So Gar and IC, both Relic 7. I even gave the leadership Zeta to Gar. Do I regret it? No, not really. I think they're still good. So, yeah, we're almost done on the faction, actually. It's pretty close. I would like to get my adversary up more relics just for the ship, and even more potential to stop Wampa. I need to work on it mods quite a bit. But that's pretty much most of it for Empire. I would also like to get Lord Vader up to Relic 9 at some point. But to be honest, it doesn't really change the outcome of the teams he's being countered by. Especially like Bo-Katan at the moment. He just gets absolutely blown away. But he's just a team to take Bo-Katan on the defense. So I'm not really too fussed about Vader at the moment. One thing I do regret here is a Relic 9 and Piet. It doesn't do much anymore nowadays. It's really lost its... When Executor was the best fleet, having an R9 Piet was the jam, you know. But nowadays... There's not the Empire counter to Piet. Even the First Order counter to Piet isn't much of a big deal in fleets anymore. So if I could take this R9 back, I would, and I slap it on Riders to get the requirement done. But I guess beggars can't be choosers. So I guess Ewoks. I'm not going to pick up the pack for this. Maybe if you twist my arm, I might do it, but the Ewoks are such a dud faction for me, I'm not going to bother. And I know you can put good investment into them to get Nisa up and running, but I just think their animations take so long to do, and I just hate staring at the murder bears throw rocks at characters. So I don't think I'll be getting them up and running. We got First Order. all done there. Galactic Republic. I think. I'll talk about a little bit about the Galactic Republic things. About some of the things I've done and some of the things I kind of regret, but just for a bit of fun. So I don't regret at all this R8 on Plo Koon, and it's been such a great asset to my roster, I will say. So an R8 Plo Koon will basically ensure that your Plo Koon starship and fleets will always outrun an Executor's IG-88 if it's the triple attacker lineup. If they have an R9 IG-88, R8 Plo Koon will always outrun, so you can pass the taunt over. I believe it's to Marauder or Anakin, I can't quite remember, but if you want to use Kenobi to counter Executors with R9 IG-88s, you need that Plo Koon at R8, which I don't regret at all. And I even use him in a Starkiller team. He's quite useful. Buff Dispel on a basic, turn meter, defense up. He even gets the damage immunity because he's a tank. So, great character. Well, I mean, his kit's not horrendously great, but it's usable. Very usable. I don't regret this at all. Great investment for you guys if you don't have... if you want to put a little bit more investment into your negotiator fleet, very well worth. Definitely would recommend. We have an R5. We have an R5 Kid Fisto. Now, I just did this really for the content. I wanted to try out Kenobi's... I wanted to try his Datacron out, really. And I kind of justified it in the sense that you can use an R5 Kid Fisto for... TB, Rise of the Empire. I believe it's on the light side node there. You can use... There's a special mission for Kit Fisto and Mace Windu. So that's how I justified it. I was helping the guild and doing it for content. So I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest, but I just wanted to do it. So I wasted Relic, but I think it was pretty cool. So I actually did the mission. I won. So Kit Fisto, not a great Jedi, but he's there. Same with Armageddon. He's actually a platoon for me in the middle, so I've got him up and I've got Ayla up as well. So yeah, that's probably all I really want to point out about this. The only other thing I want to say is CG, please fix this. I don't know why you changed the profile and not the actual character model. So if you are if this is a bug, please fix it. I don't know, it's just triggering me. What else are we going to talk about here? We've already kind of skipped over Geonosians. For some reason, everyone thinks... Well, not everyone, should say. Captain thinks I'll be farming like all the newer stuff, but I'm not. I'm not going for Gungans. They look really strong at the moment, but I'm just not a fan of chasing the meta. It's just not my groove. I want to chase what things I want and how it will benefit me then and there in a quick and an efficient time frame. Like, this would take me forever unless I'm going to dump a whole lot of money into it, which I'm not really wanting to. Now, one team that I have invested a lot of relics and a lot of modding into is the Jabba team. So I've already got... I'm not going to R9 the entire team, but I've R9'd Jabba and I've R9'd Chrysanthemum. And I've given most of their Omicrons, besides obviously the Raid, Omicron and Bush Leia there. But double Territory War Omicron for Territory Wars. And I've also got the GAC on me there. So I personally enjoy Territory Wars, and this makes a solid team for a defense. The double Omni Jabba. Pardon me. At the moment, without Jabba's Datacron. Pardon me, got the hiccups. I've just been using Doubt, but I still quite enjoy this team. R8 on Bush Leia. I've got her... Many are a little bit confused by the tenacity, but that's more so for Thrawn counters, but it's a little bit self-preventive. It's not really that much. I want to put a cross on her, but I just haven't been bothered. She's a damage build. She's got 14k on her. Not too bad at all. And just Chrysanthemum's like... I think I've got him at 300k. Max health and protection combined. Yeah, the R9 just makes him an absolute unit of a character. So the R9 there, the R9s on this team is really just for timeouts against any of those teams that are quite cheesy. But even I think Night Sisters will still get through that in a GAC format. So Imperial Remnants, I actually want, before I get Dark Trooper Moff Gideon and I get Scout Trooper to R7, I actually want to see how this team performs. I want to try and get it to a point where I've put the god mods on it, and I've actually given it a run. I will do a few videos on this team, see what I can cook up. I will rewatch Arnold's video on how it goes, but I do want to try out and see how this team actually performs without Dark Trooper Gideon there, because I've already pulled apart my Imperial Troopers, the Super Trooper team anyway. Veers for me just doesn't exist anymore, and a lot of people are a little bit sad by that. I used him just the other day in GAC for a Vader cleanup, but really Troopers are so hard to use, like Bad Batch, especially in the later game. They're just not viable anymore. So I was thinking of making a Remnant team just without DTMG until I unlock him, and then obviously my Thrawn Piet counter for most teams. So a lot of people do like that Iden, but if you don't have Iden well modded, she's just an easy Wampa food, and I don't like putting Wampa food on defense, so she kind of stays on the offensive for maybe something cheeky, but nothing too crazy. We've talked already about Inquisitors. Jawas, no point. They're like garbage. Jedi, if you're going to R9 anything in this game, it's going to be requirements for something, or a character obviously you like, but really you should be R9ing your Jedi Master Luke no matter what you do. It's such an important, I think one of the most important R9s in the game. He's actually kind of low on protection. I should bump that out. I believe that's because I do have a potency cross, I believe. Yeah, so I've got a good protection secondary there, so I'm not really sure if I'm happy with this or not, but you can definitely bump his protection up to, I think, 150k. But yeah, definitely one of the most important R9s of the game is Jedi Master Luke. Definitely good. A good Omicron in the Galactic Republic or Jedi. Mace Windu Shatterpoint 1, extremely awesome or great for Territory Wars. Qui-Gon's Omicron's been good since day one. Beck is currently kind of taken his team, unfortunately. Is there much to talk about Mandalorians? I don't have Bo-Katan. I don't even think I'm that close, to be honest. I've put this I put the Zeta on him just for Conquest to do that cheese fleet for the heat for Bane. That's why he's got a Zeta on there. Otherwise, not really that much going there. I recently put more speed on Armor to make sure SLKR gets through my layers if need be. I would like to put more relics on more, but everyone wants more relics. It's just the thing nowadays. We've already talked about Night Sisters, Old Republic, no point. I guess we can quickly go over Phoenix. Now, a lot of people, especially early game, don't really know what to farm for the Phoenix. What are the characters that are going to be there till the end? What are the ones you want to invest into? So I firmly believe it's this 5. Obviously, Hera, Kanan, and Captain Rex are the 3. I think Chopper even makes us the 4, but I think really Zeb and Ezra are just going to have to be bench warmers. I know there's a little bit of viability with Zeb with that daze and stun on his basic, but I think that was mainly for Reaver. You can still beat Reaver with just this team. Just sub out, I think you just sub out Kanan and you put in like a pre-taunt just to take the torture, and you're off to the races and they never get a turn. So, if you want to farm a Phoenix team and you want to farm the right ones, I believe it's these ones. Kanan, Hera, Sabine, Chopper, and obviously Captain Rex. Great team. Am I happy with his Omicron? I guess it gets me a few holds in GAC, but to be honest, yeah, I could probably skip out on it. It's not required. I definitely would have rathered one on Admiral Raddus. So that's one I will apply sooner or later, is Admiral Raddus's one. So we can have that second option to counter Reaver with Raddus. I would like to see, I know this is going way too long, but I don't care if this ends up being an hour-long video. It's just talking about my roster, I guess. I'd like to hear what you guys out there in the abyss how would you guys mod your Raddus? Now, I did speak a little bit briefly in my guild about how people mod him, and a lot of people even like mod him for probably 2 things: offense or bulk. Now, the reason I went for offense here is because of his hope ability. Apparently, it's just based off pure offense, and I want that to hit really hard. So I'm trying to split it in half, where I've put a little bit bulk on him, and I'll put as much offense into him as I can. He's at about 13k at the moment because he does special damage. So he's about 13k, which is not too bad for special damage, but you can get it pretty high, I think, for special damage. I think Ben's one's like over 16k. I can't quite remember. But he doesn't have great mods in him at the moment. I want to change this to... I'm not really happy with the stats on this one, but I don't have any material to get it up anymore. And I also want to change this one here. It's got a good offense, but this will go to someone else. I don't want the speed. I want protection and maybe speed secondary. He just needs more bulk. I want him to get at least over 100k. So that's one, the modding I'm working on for Radis. I'm not going to go show you how to mod everyone. Just skipping over some important characters, I think. We have an R8 Rebel Rolo just for Rise of the Empire platoons. I do have a Relic 5 Sana courtesy of Afra unlocked, but I don't honestly use that team very often. It is okay team if you put the investment into it, but I don't want a Relic, a Stormtrooper Han yet. He's just not in the cards at the moment. For Rogue One, I do need to finish off. These are not part of the requirements, but you need them to fill the team in 5v5. I do want to get either Scarf, Rebel Pathfinder, Baze, or K2 SO up. So I've got to get... I'll probably end up getting all three of them up at some point, but I'm thinking of getting Baze and K2 up at the moment just because of that little bit of synergy between K2 and Cassian, just to fill up the rest of that team. Oh, what else do we got? Not going to talk about that. Not going to talk about resist. Oh, we can talk about resistance for a little bit. We got a Zori team up and running, but it's kind of broken up at the moment, courtesy of Ray and Holdocron at the moment. So I do put Hero Finn with the Holdocron. Not sure if it's even better. I might just swap him out for Shorty. I'm kind of undecided there. But yeah, we do have a Zori. I wish I could put more relics on it. I'm not really sold on her Omicron, and it's not the most pressing one at the moment because I just chuck them on defense and forget about it. But yeah, as we're talking about, we got the Rogue One up and running. But Biston's useless and Pow's for Mon Mothma, so that's why I've got to upgrade those other two characters. And I don't have a good Chirrut, so I couldn't use the Datacron for it. So I wasn't going to upgrade him for the viability anyway. Maybe I could have instead of Kit Fisto, but honestly, it would have been a pretty good team, but I just didn't. Do we need to talk about Scoundrels? Probably not. Nah, we don't need to talk about Scoundrels. Separatists, something that I do love. We will finish the rest of it finish the Geos anyway with the Lightspeed bundle. I will eventually, because this is a Cantina farm now, I will eventually get this up and running pretty quickly. Just down the road, I might get it up. I'm guessing it might be a requirement maybe for a capital ship later on in the year or next year, depending on what the GL ship this year is going to be. I love Trench, love using him inside of Territory War, outside of Territory War, and he's only Relic 5, so a pretty easy investment. If he had more relics, I actually don't think it would matter. If he loses to something, it's not because he doesn't have enough health and protection. It's because the team he's going against is too hard to beat, and not for him. So most of the counters I do with Trench is because I have the control over the enemy team. There's a lot of question going on around about the fight between Maul and the Mandalorians and Lord Vader Maul, and people can't decide where they want to put Jango. That's why I have a Lord Vader Maul team, and I have Separatists to have Jango, and then my the rest of my Mandalorians, so Icy and Gar, have the Thrawn team to go to. So that's the best way I kind of split the three factions up. I still had a viable Lord Vader, I still have a viable Trench team, and I still have a pretty viable Empire Mandalorian kind of mixed match of a team. Sith, we can talk about Sith for a little bit. Obviously we have Darth Bane. I don't have all the Omicrons on him. If I wanted another one, it'd be Essence of Dominance, but honestly, he kills everything anyway, so I probably won't bother. Unless this would help against the JMK teams, I will say. I don't really want to. I don't usually risk it with Bane against JMK. It's just too risky for me. You can use Sith Empire Trooper, but sometimes if he gets dispelled with Ahsoka Tano, it's already game over. So I tend just to not use him against JMK and just smash another GL instead or something else. This Essence of Dominance would help, but I just don't have the Omicrons to afford it. It's a luxury Omicron, to be honest. And I don't use them with C. Don't use them with C. It's a complete waste. If I could take some Omicrons back, maybe I could work out some with Malgus. Like, does he really need all three? Probably not. But like I think he's got an Omicron on his first special here. I definitely would take this one back. It's not that great, not that useful, to be honest. So definitely a bit of a waste there, but you know, it happens. And if we want Leviathan down the road, we're going to have to put some more relics on these two. That's down the road. I'm not too fussed. Double Omicron here. I would like an Omicron on Talon. Just because she does quite... If she have good mods on her, she does do a pretty considerable amount of damage under Traya and Savage. Very good synergy between them. I just recently got Sith Empire Trooper to relics. I do want to bump him up to probably Relic 8. Relic 9 would be amazing, but I think Relic 5 and I'll be done with him. I do have an R5 Assassin, just basically prepping me for Leviathan down the road. Let's move on to the next faction. Sorry, I am taking a long time with this video. It's going to be like 50 minutes long. Unaligned Force User, we kind of already briefly talked about this. We don't have Malicos, so our Unaligned Force User team's kind of subpar what it could be. And that's why I kind of, especially in 5v5, I just destroy it. I just take Cal for Ray, and Seer's just left with garbage for offense. So definitely does hurt the roster, not having Malicos, and he's only at 90. So I'm just waiting for Proving Grounds until he comes to farm. But I've been focusing hard on DTMG. So sorry guys for this being a long video, but I didn't really know where to start with it, so I just kind of talked. So hopefully that gives you a bit of insight to what this account is and what its holes are. So for this account, fleets are such a big thing, and that's why I'm going after the Profunity right now. So first thing, Profunity. Finish the relics off, unlock that, and I'll probably slap it on defense with an Executor. Next thing, Leia. Awesome. I'll probably slap her on defense and yeah, just ruin the lives of my opponent. So hopefully after these two big unlocks, Profunity and Leia, I will be able to stick my foot in permanently into lower Kyber 1, but for now we're going to have to stick up at the top end of Kyber 2. And yeah, once these Lightspeed bundles come around in the next couple of days, Night Sister Squad will be almost finished, Geonosians will be done, and then I'll focus on Cowcasters. So yeah, otherwise the account's moving along smoothly. If you have any questions, if you want any advice, if you want to give me advice, please type in the comments. I'm always roaming the YouTube chat. So otherwise guys, leave a like, comment down below, subscribe. I've got a cool series coming out very shortly. I'm not going to spoil what it is just yet. Just got to confirm a few things, and then yeah, maybe in the next couple of days we'll release a post about it. So stay tuned for that, guys. Otherwise, sorry, I do apologize for the long video, but it's a big account. I want to explain stuff. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys, and as always, BANE out.